Mathews Ogutu from Nairobi, Kenya. For me, I think what I can take from Centonomy is the two words. That is action, and the other one is grow. So I'll go with the first one. For action was to always complete the immediate objective now. That is one thing that I was able to achieve. And the other one was to grow, to mean I have to have a goal. I need to know what my reality is and what options are available for me, and then the will to execute the goal. So those are some of the things I've been able to learn from Centonomy. So there is the goal, reality, my options, and the will. And then finally, there's the action, which is always complete the immediate action now. So the options in terms of the immediate objective. So I'm able to do that. So I always have this in my vision board. So one of the things was to actually do the 101 course. And it took me exactly 8 years to do it. Being a technology, I have some background in IT myself. So I used to do a lot of free work here and there. Sometimes you can do the CSR, but then I've come to realize CSR also has a limit. So I have to there are those that I need to charge if the course I believe is not for supporting the less fortunate, or something that's on the one side you may be gaining something, but then I am putting in time. So I was able to actually quantify my time. That's quite interesting because I tend to tie my story with one of the alumni. This is Waudo. When I was in actually I was supposed to be the April, I think the April intake or the February intake. So during the open day, I listened to him and I could actually relate through his journey. Was more or less like mine. So where of course I had so many friends, and based on what I was doing, you find I was spending quite a lot of time and also money in doing things that are not making me grow. So with time, I've realized during the COVID time, actually, I can say it was like a godsend thing for me, because it made me change a bit of the things I do. So I don't hang out a lot. I used to do that before. So for me, I think it's a good thing. And I was actually able to grow quite a bit. And the money I've even spent for the 101, I was able to regain these in, I think, threefold or something, close to that. Because I'm looking at around a 6-figure value. This one, I think, is a personal thing because, for one, have you ever tried to look for a needle inside the ocean? I think that's what the dilemma I had. So I had the needle. Once it gets to the ocean, I could not find it. So I had to start tracking the money. And the moment I started tracking the money and the time, because you see, time, we are being told time is money. So at the end of the day, if I'm able to track my time, then I'm able also to look after where my money is going, because every activity you do is either having monetary value or it has a time value. So when I put the two together, then I realized, yes, there's this thing that I can do. One thing that many children will not be taught is about money. And it was quite interesting for me to start learning money and what money is to everything that I do. So that changed a bit of my perception on so many things. And I came to realize, yes, I know money in terms of the currency, but I didn't know what this currency could, the potential it could be able to give me and where it can be able to take me. And I'll go back now to two people close to me. That's my father, and the other one will be my brother. So my father used to see him buying a lot of stocks back then. So he could buy into KQ, to Mias and the others. So he used to have those certificates. So he used to file them. So I used to wonder, why would I just be paid like 800 bob, 1,000 shilling? But he used to have a lot of it. So maybe for him also he learned you can buy some of these things, you can get small monies here and there. So that's how the first interaction I had with the investments came about. But then I could not understand what my dad was trying to achieve. And as I said, maybe he could not have a way of explaining to me how that process was working for him. And then the other one was on to do with my brother. For the longest time, we never used to have a television set. And when my brother started working, it's the first time we saw a television set. So during news time, you guys used to flip. For us, we used to flip. So during news time, he was like, no, don't switch off the channel or change the channel. So I could see him saying, oh, BOC has gone up. BOC has gone down. So that experience of going up, going down, I used not to also relate with it so well. So after starting work and then now taking the Centonomy, I'm trying to understand stocks in a better way. Maybe by now, based on the information I have, I can do it different from the way my dad was doing it, because for him, he was keeping it for the longest. So whether the values are up or down, he used not to do anything. He just used to go for the dividends, and that's how, for him, things used to work. But for my case, and again, with technology coming on board, I think it's a plus for me, because I'll understand even the market better. I'm able to do better research, and I'm also able to make a better decision whenever I'm investing. So stocks, bonds, and things like that, then now all that kicks in a better way and with a better understanding. For me, it's a goal in terms of my daughter's education, because now at least I have an idea of how to achieve that. So just reorganizing myself, the resources I have, just to improve how I also do my expenses, and then the retirement activity. And I'm actually looking at a yacht facility where I'll be doing cruise ships or boats, and also the water sport boats. So in retirement, that's how I want to probably unwind and have something like that. And I think at a later time, I may be able to share with you the kind of vision board I have for that particular facility. One reason why the objective was never met was because I had to drive physically to where your offices were or where the class is. And as I told you, it's been a bit frustrating initially. And I think because of how things changed abruptly and guys went online, I think I was able to achieve this because it was very flexible for me. For one, I could maybe check in, and maybe you could see this in some of the sessions. I could check in on a Tuesday, listen in, and then probably on a Thursday, then on a Saturday. Saturday used to be lit up, so I used to look forward to the Saturdays, because Saturday then, you are relaxed and your brain is fresh. You take in the ideas so well. The fact that also you send us the notes in terms of the content, I found it quite encouraging as well. So you could easily follow. From the faculty, yeah, some were new concepts. So with the repeat again, when you go to a class, you do it the second time, the third time. Then there's the option of the question and answer, which also worked for us very well. And even the contacts, I think the faculty, some of them you are able to contact them, and the experience is quite, it's actually better than a physical class for me. It's only that I'm not seeing my other persons. And then maybe the only undoing is it's many of the guys were mute. So in terms of sharing, some were a bit not comfortable going online and technology and all these things. So that could be maybe a downside. But again, I think when we were graduating, we almost saw each other. So yeah, that was it. And I think I had a wonderful time because it was in my turf actually. I think you guys smoked me from my hiding because I'm in technology, and that's what it is. To just look at the animals walking into the Noah's Ark, so they could be left behind.